Today we shall be looking at Cameroon at crossroads of the Third Republic, what panacea for socio-political, economic and cultural stability. We know very well that the First Republic started from independence right up to about 1972. Then it took from 1972 to about 1982 or 84. Then President Paul Biya continued up to present date. But we are looking at it that if this vice president has to be a replacement to the president, whether he's going to resign or incapacitated or a matter of death, because everybody must die, that is what the law says, so we are looking at that. It means the vice president will surely have to take over. And so this Third Republic, if it has to continue, then what is going to be as a solution, as a panacea to the socio-political economic situation in Cameroon? Because there are so many people who have given proposals that if the vice president is coming as a replacement, if it is coming to take over, then he has a lot to do, because the minds of people are not really stable according to what we get out there. And so that is what we shall be looking at today. Cameroon at crossroads of Third Republic, what panacea for socio-political, economic and cultural stability. Tonight, dear viewers, we have a gentleman in the studio, Sinjo Armstrong. You're welcome to Crossviews tonight.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. Special good evening to you. Good evening to our televiewers, of course, who have taken the appointment to be part of tonight's special edition on Crossview, streaming live on Royal TV. It's always a pleasure to be here to look at things that are making news across the country. I think for the past 1 month, since March 10, we have been at the level of the National Assembly, and so much has been happening there, and a lot of issues have been going on within the political class, within political observers, analysis, and even within those who are not quite interested in following political events or development in the country. I'm talking about a business person who have decided not to be expressing interest in what is happening in the country.
They claim to be too busy to look for money. They claim to be
too busy, and this is the only thing they are asking. Some meet me along the street. They will tell her, okay, we watch you on Royal TV on daily basis. You will talk about the recent political happenings. My question to you, when are they going to appoint the vice president? Or when are they going to elect the vice president? So they basically are not interested in what is going on to even know what is going on. Most of them, they want to just hear the news. That's all. And it's because they don't find it very interesting. They don't find the development something that is going to add anything in the economic, political, and social fabric of Cameroon. So they are busy going about with their daily routine, and they feel that we are the one to update them. So a lot has been happening. Across the country. Expectations are high, especially as the Senate finally validated the proposals, and everything now lies now in the hands of the President of the Republic. A good number of bills have gone through the Parliament, has been adopted. So the President now needs to promulgate it into law, let it become a law. because until the president signs a bill,
it is not yet
official. It's not yet official.
Yeah.
It remains at the level of a bill,
okay,
which is still being discussed. So I think with the adoption that has been done at the various houses of the assembly, it is left now for the president. And I don't think the president will take so much time to do that, because the mad Roger will have witnessed in this particular bill, introduction of vice president and changing certain provision or articles in our electoral code. Because even with this bill, it also had to affect our electoral code as well. Yeah, a lot of things need to be changed there, and which we saw the Minister of Territorial Administration and Decentralization, Minister of Territorial Administration, Minister Ataganji Paul, defending certain amendments of our electoral code.
yeah,
Yeah, so, and of course, at the level of the Senate, everything went as smooth as usual. There was no objection, just like in the case in the past. So the board now is in the hands of the President of the Republic to reshape the political life of the country by signing or by promulgating the bill that has been adopted at the various houses into law. So that is a situation we as political analysts we are observing to see what new the reintroduction of the post of vice presidency is going to add. But by my own reading, I don't think this post is not new to us. The regime in Yaoundé is just dancing a Bafia dance, something that after the abolition of the federal system of government, now they are bringing it back. But my worry here is that they should have they should have revisited the federal system. Because we know this vice president existed in the federal system, but at the level of the federal system, it didn't obtain that way. So it was something that the power was shared.
yeah,
If you look at 1970, when late President Amadu Ajo contested for the presidential election, if you look at that time, he was contesting alongside a vice president from the then West Cameroon. So, and this is something, like I said, that existed in the federal states, but now it is being brought back, but now in a different form. And that is why you see, since the bill was tabled at the Parliament and then at the Congress, the bill has received wide criticism from the political class, especially the opposition.
yes,
Especially within the corridors of the Cameroon Bar Association, where the current president, he didn't find that bill very convincing for him. In his communique, he rubbished that bill of the introduction of the vice president post. To him, the bill did not meet
and so many others,
and
especially
so many other
political,
yeah.
maybe party leaders, civil society, and others. But before we get into the discussion, dear viewers, let us get this report on this topic tonight. Then after the report, we shall begin to discuss. Cameroon's journey through republican governance began with independence from France in 1960, marking the first republic under Amadou Ahidjo. In 1972, Ahidjo abolished the federal system, establishing a unitary state and ushering in the Second Republic. Paul Biya succeeded Ahidjo in 1982 and, facing economic crisis and pressure, introduced multi-party politics in 1990, paving the way for the Third Republic. The Third Republic has seen Biya's continued rule with challenges like the Anglophone crisis and economic struggles. Today, as Cameroon stands as a crossroads, questions about succession, stability, and governance shape the nation's path. As Cameroon stands at the threshold of a new era in its Third Republic, the nation grapples with pressing issues threatening socio-political, economic, and cultural stability. President Paul Biya's advanced age raises succession concerns, and the country faces critical questions about its future. The current state of affairs is marked by severe economic fragility, with inflation rising to 5.3% in January 2025, conflicts disrupting regions, and economic hardship looming large. The socio-political tensions are palpable, with Anglophone crisis, governance issues, and corruption persisting. Exclusionary policies fuel social unrest, and cultural marginalization threatens national unity. These challenges are intertwined, and addressing them requires a holistic approach. To navigate this critical juncture, Cameroon needs inclusive governance that fosters dialogue, addresses grievances, and promotes unity. Economic diversification is crucial, with investments in sectors beyond oil, such as agriculture and manufacturing. Institutional reforms are also necessary to strengthen institutions and ensure transport succession. So, as Cameroonians await the appointment of the vice president and the long-awaited cabinet shake-up, the path forward demands visionary leadership committed to democracy, inclusivity, and transformation. The stakes are high, and Cameroon's future hangs in the balance. The next chapter requires leaders who can bridge divides, address pressing issues, and steer the nation towards stability and prosperity. So then, all we can say is courage, Brother Vice President. Do not stumble, for the task ahead is cumbersome and complex. Trust in God and do the right. Of course, the task ahead is very cumbersome and very complicating, because to get to a position like that, there is so much, especially the situation we have today in the country, something that has never happened. And so whoever will come in as the vice president just have to take the courage and do the right thing. Then God will make sure that he or she succeeds. At this time, we are looking at how maybe the solution to the socio-political, economic, and cultural maybe instability that we have in the country. The next person who is coming to take over will meet a lot. Now, let us begin with some social aspects. What do you think? How do you size up the situation socially in Cameroon that are very pressing, that the vice president will surely come and start handling?
Okay. The government of hope, yeah, or I give it the impression to Cameroonians that the reintroduction of the post of vice president is coming to fast track, you know, the bureaucracy, the administration, and they are given the impression that the workload is much on the president, and that the reintroduction of the post of vice president is going to solve a lot of problems. That is the picture they are painting to Cameroonians. Because when you look at most of those that had fund or supporter of CPDN,
yes,
when they talk on radio or when they talk on the media, especially after during the period of Congress, they give the impression that the vice president is going to put an end to the pictorials of problems that Cameroon is facing.
And now, if he's going to do that, let us look at it from this perspective, as I said. Let's take
the social
first
perspective.
of all the social.
Yes,
we have education, we have health.
Yes.
Let us start with education. How can you size the educational system today? Is he going to face a lot of problems handling it, or to you, the educational system has no problem as of now?
Yes, I was actually coming to answer your question in that direction, looking at the social and education which you mentioned. But what I was trying to say is that a picture is being painted that the reintroduction of the post of vice president is a panacea to the pictorials of problems that Cameroon is facing. I'm going by the presentation that the government have been defending that particular bill. Those who are in the system are also saying. But to me, a critical look of this, that is not what analysts will tell you. There is far more of a political undertone in this introduction of the post of vice president. To say that the challenges that the educational sectors are facing, that the vice president will come and solve the problems, is far from it. Because the vice president will only execute actions that has been given to him by the president. And if the president for 43 years has been unable to address these issues, this issue within the educational sector and employment, then I cannot imagine how the vice president will come, this problem will just disappear.
Yes, we understand that so many people
I can't get it.
So many people look at it that he's going to be a stooge. But on the other side, you know, power is so sweet. And, you know, it is a situation that so many look at it to be a kind of transition, where so many foresee a kind of resignation, in the sense that maybe the president will just be there as a figurehead, and the vice president is there leading the country. Now, let's take the vice president as the man on seat, because so many people have understood that that is a situation as at now. So we have the educational system where we say, well, students are prepared for examination, they are not being taught to know, but they are being taught to prepare or to pass exams. We have situations where, if, with my research, we know that in the primary school, by the time children reach maybe from class 3, class 4, they should be able to read and write. But we see students, even at the secondary level, university level, they are still facing difficulty of reading and writing, not to talk of expressing themselves. Then we talk of looking at the educational system. We have a system whereby, you know, it is criticized that it is not, it doesn't make the students to come out to be professionals, but it is just to know the theory. And if we look at all this, is it going to be a solution? Is he going to look at all the... What's your take about this?
The issue is that you started by saying a good number of persons see the vice president as a stooge. Some people, I think I'm one of those who subscribe to that position.
Okay.
Because when you look at the post of the vice president we're talking about, you will notice that in as much as you are an assistant vice to someone, in as much as the person is not out of office, you might have ideology, innovative ideas to implement. You cannot implement it.
Okay, let's take it that he has the possibility to do all this, because let's take it at the level of transition. And he has the possibility, because even the present prime minister, we've seen a lot that he has done to transform so many sectors in Cameroon. Okay, let's look at the vice president coming in to solve some of these problems. I want us to start in a lighter mode with these social aspects before we get to it.
The truth is that the vice president coming to solve some of these problems, I don't see the vice president up to task to address some of the issue.
Why do you think so?
The reason being that it is a complete system. It's a system, and the vice president will still be choosing from the same system. Someone who has been in the system, if you have been in the system and a very key actor in that system, let's take for example most of the prominent ministers, or let's just say the prime minister, a prime minister who holds a very key position, head of government, that decide on certain decision on how that he defined the economic, the educational policy and give it to his minister to execute. If the prime minister has, the current prime minister who is a prime minister, when unable to articulate some of these policy to ameliorate the issues that you just named in educational, social, I think even at that, the prime minister that we have now has a power, because he is the head of government. He defined the policy of development and he hand it to his minister. So now, if he's unable to do this at this level, now let's assume that the current prime minister becomes the president or the vice president, like I was saying, someone that he will still receive directive. Oh, you are saying that we should look at from the case of transition.
Okay,
we should look at a case of the transition.
Let's look at this way. What do you think that the person who will be appointed, what do you think he should do? What do you have as proposal to him or her who will be appointed? What do you think he should do as far as education in Cameroon? We'll look at the educational system. We'll look at health. What do you think he should do?
See, the person that was appointed, what he should do, I don't think he has a latitude.
No, we are talking
His
of
hands are not free.
No, wait. We are talking of if you are put before him to say propose what he should do in the educational system that you don't see right as of now.
The way the way it is structured, does the vice president even have anything proposal? Because if what we have read, he's simply doing what he has been asked.
Let's go to the next. Let's go to the next aspect here that I prepared. Let's start from the.
Now, let me just come in. Maybe probably you want me that. Okay, if I should meet the vice president now, what proposal?
That is what we are saying.
Okay,
that
if I should meet him, what should I propose, or what can I tell him to do?
That is what we are looking at, socio-politically and economically.
Now,
what are the things?
For the first in the educational sector, what the vice president that we're expecting should do, it should speed up the professionalization at the level of educational sector at all levels.
You're not talking.
That is the first thing. Our educational system is not productive.
Okay.
It's not professional.
Okay.
And the way things are going now, we need an educational system that is professionalized.
Okay.
Now, programs, educational programs, courses should be designed. I mean, when I say at all levels, beginning at the level of primary,
Yes.
the professionalism that we're talking about here,
Yes.
it should begin at that level. I quite much appreciate the fact that at the level of primary school, especially those who go in for first school living certificate, it is you will notice that those who go in for those public exams, they have a particular trait, the children have a particular trait that they pick up.
Yes.
Their children will take on food and nutrition, that they will take on fashion, design, and so on and so forth. So, but again, it has to be reinforced. See, the truth is that education should be in such a way that we understand we have grammar, but it should be in such a way that everybody go through some certain professional courses.
Okay. Okay, let's start with the basics.
Yes.
Where we realize that children leave from the primary school, can't even express themselves. We have a situation whereby children are, up at the level of the primary school, they have no handwork that they can prove that, like compared to in the past, somebody leaving from the basic education already has a kind of handwork. Well, let's look at it also at the level where so many people criticize the fact that children leave from the basic education, they are still very young. Maybe their mental capacity is still very fragile. And this aspect of bringing it to 6 years, there are people who are still criticizing it. So how do you look at this?
The truth is that from the way it is designed, a people that enroll in, because the education in Cameroon starts from pre-nursery, from nursery, pre-nursery to nursery, and then primary school, secondary school, high school, university. So you will notice that most people, like you said, that they leave the primary level, they can read, they can write. It is not a total blame on the system, because the educational system has been structured in such a way that children start from pre-nursery. And when a child starts from pre-nursery, the nursery, or let's say nursery, at that stage, that is the stage that the child gets to be very, very smart.
Okay.
That is the stage. So most often, children do not start from this level, because at that level you see nursery school and pre-nursery students get to play with a lot of them. They cannot read at that level, but they get to make them to understand certain objects. They can tell that, okay, this is a pen. They can tell that this is a color of this thing, all those things. So they try to play with children at that level, build them. So what I'm saying is that the issue here where children live, so it is expected that by class 1, class 2, class 3, a child at that level should already know how to read and write. Yes, I can challenge you. Pick a child who is in class 1, sorry, in class 3 or class 4. The child already know how to read and write. Because before going for common entrance at class 6, those things requires that children, the people there should be able to read and write. So when a child at that level at common entrance, the child is unable to read. Okay. So it has a lot of factors to play.
Okay.
Maybe probably
let us also look at this. We have a problem. Recently, the Minister of Secondary Education launched a kind of program where they had to start looking at teachers who are not present. That is ghost teachers. They take salary, they go receive salary, but they are not present in class. What do you think should be a solution to this situation? Because we find that it happens that some of these teachers have a lot of connections. Because now we are discussing, let me say, on the aspect where a head of state is coming in place. And so we are looking, Cameroonians are looking up to him to come and solve some of these problems. We are starting with this social problem. We'll get to political, economic problems. Now, what do you think should be done?
Now, I want to salute the initiative launched by the Minister of Secondary Education. I think it's secondary education. I think, is it secondary basic?
Yes, secondary education.
Yes, secondary education.
Professor
Nalova Leonga, Pauline, to conduct a census. It's true because a lot of teachers at that level have
this
abandoned.
This thing has been taking place for a very long time.
Yes.
For years, for
decades. A lot of teachers have abandoned their duty posts. Some have gone abroad. Some have decided to engage in other activities, and so they are still taking salary. Now, they have a lot of there are a lot of things in place to explain this particular issue that government is always fighting. The minister is always fighting, saying so you want to hear more than 1,000 people, teachers on a government payroll, they are not being effective in class. Now, the first thing is that the government have made it in such a way that people have this the idea of I want to have a matricle, the matricle syndrome.
Yes.
The desire to just have a matricle. The desire that no, have that matricle, you can be doing something else after my salary will pass. That is the ideology. And now, people do not actually rush for the teaching profession based on passion, based on the gift that they have. But they quickly rush there because of the economic situation in our country.
They are looking for sustenance.
So they want something that will sustain them. And the thing that with the public service, there is that job security, which is there.
Somebody proposed that, like in school, there can be technology where at any time a teacher comes to school, it indicates when you come in, what you did, all those information should be passed technologically, you know, like you can thumbprint on a technology and indicates right at the headquarters. Some others are saying that some of these head teachers or principals, especially because it happens most especially in secondary schools, should be brought to book so that people start learning the lesson, that some of these actions taken will solve some of these problems.
I was trying to, one of the point I was talking about, the matricle syndrome, that the way the government has prepared this thing.
Yeah.
See, I said it from the beginning. The moment they bring the thing of ENS direct recruitment, this is where the problem is.
So how can this solve these
So
problems? That we have?
I learned that they have even brought about the direct recruitment issue because see the issue of the direct recruitment issue, we don't find people who pursue the career for passion. That is the first thing. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying.
So that's why we are trying to look for a solution.
So
some of
the solution
yes.
is that
Yes.
first, the government should go back to drawing board. If they will remove this issue of direct employment, let have people who express the desire for teaching.
Okay.
Let government recruit them. Same like those who enroll into university, study their course of 3 years, 4 years, leave.
Okay.
You are not going to the university to study a particular degree program because you expect that government should employ you. That's what I'm saying. So now, when you get these people, when you get this done now, you now get people who are passionate about that profession. Now, when you are passionate about this profession, you will not want to miss a lecture. You will not want to abandon your duty post. So that is the first thing. The second thing that we should probably is that I realize that most of these teachers who are posted into certain areas to teach, yes, it's true, you can be posted everywhere. Most often, the amenities, the shelter, oftentimes is a problem.
Okay.
There. And sometimes a government will just give a particular secondary school in a very particular locality to a community. They don't know that some of these things need to come with a lot of amenities that can keep the teachers there. We used to hear of royal exodus. That we have all, you know what the causes of royal exodus.
Yeah, rural exodus.
Yes.
That is leaving the suburbs into the city.
Yes, these teachers that are not into class, they are not that are conducting census. Those teachers are not the one in the town and city. The one in the towns and city, they are going. Those that are not coming to class, check. If not 90% or 99, are those who have been posted in areas that is in areas that are those some of these social amenities are not there.
Yeah.
Shelter is not even there for them. Accommodation is not there. The villages, so nothing is not there. That is why some of the abandoned studies and come. So now, sometimes they will go look for someone who is there, be teaching some of those courses for their present. So the issue is that this problem is even more complicated in the northwest and southwest region.
Okay, let us look
Yes.
at briefly the health situation. You know, our hospitals, at times the vaccines that are given, the way patients are treated. How do you size all this, and what do you think?
See, the government still have so much to do as far as our health sector is concerned. I'm saying this for the incoming vice president
Yes.
who we appointed. I follow up a report about the health situation in one community, a village, where the community depend entirely on traditional health care. That community does not have roads. There is no electricity. There is no water. I mean, those amenities that community needs to survive. There is no hospital or health center. Let me not even go about hospital. There is no health center there. Not even a private health center or a private initiative health center or community thing. So, I look at how most of the pregnant women depend on the traditional health care is being given. And there is only a woman there who takes care of pregnant women.
It means the vice president
So-
has to make
so
sure that
the vice-
infrastructure, medical infrastructure and material has to be provided.
The
in
vice
every-
president has a Dundee tax, it has a huge tax to improve on the health situation in our community, especially in the rural areas.
Okay, but
Especially
if you
in
look
the
at
rural
the
area.
traditional medicines, they are not that bad. Recently, we understand they are trying to merge the two because it has been proven over decades that even the traditional medicines are good. Don't you see that that's something they need to encourage?
The traditional medicine or the traditional hair care is given is good, but it has its own limitation. Because when I watch that documentary, I look at the traditional midwife that was there in that community,
Yes.
assisting pregnant women for them to deliver. I saw a woman who has been in labor for 2 days, getting to 3 days. It is very risky when a woman is in labor for even days, especially
But it happens even in
Yeah.
our hospitals.
no, especially when all the signs, the
Okay.
symptoms
Yes.
has been there that the baby is okay to be delivered, and you are still in labor. It happened in the hospital. Do you know why operation are being recommended in the hospital when women are in labor? A doctor comes and say, we need to book her for operation, we need to operate her now. The reason for recommend because at the moment the woman it is time for the baby to come out. The baby keeps delaying. There's
Maybe
a
there
whole
may
lot
be
of
some complications with the woman.
The complication,
Okay.
I don't know if you understand what I'm
okay,
saying.
yes.
So
Now,
when I watched that video of a woman being in labor for 3 days already, it's the only God that saved them.
okay, let's look at the fact that in so many hospitals nowadays, if you look at the medical practitioners, or those who are on wages or maybe non-government employed,
Yeah.
they are not civil servants, are far more than, and so it's quite difficult for maybe, let's take any of the hospitals around. It's far more difficult to manage such situations because they have to raise funds in the hospital to pay some of these workers, which makes medical operations to be very expensive for patients. How do you look at that? Then we find situations where some of them, I don't want to use the word incompetence, but at times they are negligent. Some of these things have to be looked at. Then we have sectors in the hospital. Recently, we saw how those are the hemodialysis were on strike, where maybe the materials were not available for their upkeep. So some of these things have to be handled because we are looking at a situation where things that the minister, the prime minister was doing will surely be transferred to the vice president. So what solution do you think at this level?
The only issue is that government needs to cut down. Government, there has been a priority has been placed on certain things in this country that they are not really important.
Yeah.
When you see 50 or 20 cars
Yes.
are being bought to give to local administrators, we are not saying that they had the right to give them the cars. But the policy of that a car has to be replaced after, I think after 5 years.
Okay.
The government have to replace after 5 years. It's a very, very bad policy after a certain period of time. Whether the car is bad or not, there is that tendency to replace. So what I'm saying, the government have to prioritize certain issue or certain areas where a lot of finances are being pumped there and redirect these finances in the health sector. the health sector needs urgent intervention in this country. Because the health sector is the only sector that it is a sector that the country depends on this human resources. So if the way we see, I'm talking about this scenario where in one of the hospital where patients went on strike, and the patient of the who were the hemodialysis sector. So these are things that the materials needs to be in constant supply. So I'm advising the new vice president, let priority, financial priority should be given to this to the health sector.
Okay, now let's look at the economic sector, whereby the economic sector we find inflation, things are getting very expensive. We'll see to it that farm to market routes are not available. You know, we have the crops in the bushes, but or in the farms, but you know, to transfer them to the markets for people to buy is quite difficult. We have situation importation of goods. You know, the taxes are more than even what you use to buy. For example, those who import cars, you buy a car abroad, it gets at the port, what you pay is even more than the money that you bought the car. All these things. What do you think has to be done to ameliorate situation at the economic sector? Recently, we heard of taxes for phones.
Yes.
And so on.
This is a government that is went on a mission to raise money using different avenues, most especially.
And normally, that side should be in every country, every government.
Yeah, it's true.
The main source of income should be taxes.
It's true.
Yes.
When you go to advanced country like America, call your brothers and sisters. They'll tell that they settle bills, they pay bills, but at least you see the outcome of it, right?
Okay.
You see the country move forward.
Yeah.
So I understand that it is a role of the government to collect tax, but the case of Cameroon is different. Every year, taxes are always going up, and there is no direct visible relationship with the amount of taxes that be collected and with the level of infrastructural development, with the level of development or improvement in certain areas that we see. That is what we are saying.
Yeah.
Take, for example, how much is being collected from the Tico toll gate since the toll gate was created there. How much, if you do a simple calculator, how much is collected a year? 500 francs. Take at least 1 million cars moves through that road a day. That is, those who are going, those who are coming. 1 million cars multiplied by 500. It is still that Tico, that stretch of road. Look at the road, the state of our road in our country. Look at the state of our road in our country. How much is being collected from at the level of Ministry of Transport to add to what is being collected at Vero Toll Gate? Look at the state. Even when they managed to repair the road, it is something that is unheard of. So my problem is not that it is a role of the government to use avenue like taxes and other toll gates fee to raise income. But the income or the taxes that are being raised, there should be visible results. Now they have instituted what they call the mobile tax or taxes on electronic devices. Yes. If they collect the tax, what improvement are they going to do in the sector of import and export sector. Those who are involved in this business, they will still find it extremely very difficult. So, the economic sector, so much is not done to improve in the economic sector.
Okay.
People still cry of taxes, taxes, taxes every year. Every year there's a finance law. Check in the finance law, there is must be something that an extra tax burden that has been added on consumer.
Okay. Now, let's get into the political aspects where this Third Republic is coming up to maybe solve this Anglophone crisis. Let's look at the Anglophone crisis, because the Prime Minister has done his best, you know, from the time he was appointed at a very high time when this crisis started, 2018, and we see how he toured all over the areas to make sure that this comes to an end. But we are seeing a vice president who is coming at a time where there are a lot of crises. You know, at the northern regions, we have the Boko Haram. In the northwest and southwest, we have the Anglophone crisis. Even we have the popularly known as Coupe la route at the other regions, east regions, and the rest. So, what solution? Because we are talking of a way or a solution for all these problems as this Third Republic is coming, to make sure that there's stability in Cameroon. What do you think has to be done by the Vice President? How is he going to handle this?
I look at these things as a whole system of government, because when it's being limited only to the vice president will be very, very invisible.
Yeah, we are talking of a matter of transition.
Yeah, so I'm looking at a whole transition.
He's going to be acting as the president of the republic, and that's why we are looking.
He's only going to be acting as the president of the republic when the president of the republic is not there.
Yes, yeah.
Or when he must have delegated the function.
We are talking. When we talk of transition, it means that he may be coming in. Now he has the capability of doing things as the president of the republic. Now, even if we had him as the Prime Minister, we saw what the Prime Minister was doing. And it is on platforms like this that the Prime Minister was taking ideas to maybe follow up some of these problems. And so the Vice President is coming as a second to the President, and maybe a transition. So what do you think that he's going to do to solve some of these problems? Let's take a governance problem, the problem of governance, where we have mismanagement, embezzlement, and the rest.
The mismanagement, embezzlement, corruption, that is one area that has weakened the bureaucracy, or has retarded good governance in Cameroon. And if there's one thing that this government or the transition government that we're expecting is to fight against embezzlement, corruption, nepotism, and what have you. The issue is that there has always been reports, especially that of the anti-corruption commission, that Reverend Dr. Masigam will release every year. But these reports, they are never followed up to actually bring sanction to those who are found wanting. So,
another way to empower that commission to have the right to maybe penalize embezzlers of state funds.
Yes, the commission don't even have the power to even penalize.
That's why I'm saying that coming in, they should make sure that some of these commissions are empowered to make sure that even like taking some of these embezzlers to court and maybe following up some of, because they are not empowered, they end at the level of giving back information to the states.
Yes. Because the thing is that this information will give this commission will give the information, but the state does not take any practical actions.
Yes.
And even in the last report, the chairman of that commission even said it categorically clear that their role is to get information about certain the practice of certain activities like corruption.
Okay.
But the state does not take. So, in one way, that commission needs to be empowered.
Okay.
So that they can even take further step.
Let's look at this Anglophone crisis. What strong points do you have that you think should be used to solve this crisis, bring it to an end?
The only thing that the transition government needs to do, first of all, is to go back again, listen to the people.
That is another dialogue session.
Yes. Listen to the people and call for, like you said, an inclusive dialogue.
Okay.
Again, you know, even after the major national dialogue came, a lot of political pundits and actors have, you know, said that it was just a waste of time.
Okay.
Because it wasn't very inclusive.
And now when we talk
Opinions,
of inclusiveness of this dialogue, what should be done for people to be satisfied that this dialogue is inclusive? What channel, that is, what should be done to know that it is inclusive? What kind of people should be present?
People, the very actors, who are propagating the violence,
Yes.
let they be invited.
Okay.
Yes.
In other words, we are talking of their release.
Yes.
Those who are in prison should be released.
Those be released so that they can take part.
Even those abroad should be invited.
Yes, they can take part. I remember in the major national dialogue, some of them were invited, but they never show up because they were afraid that if they come,
yes,
they can be arrested.
Yeah.
But this government should be sincere to say that, okay, you that you are part of this in promoting this thing, we're inviting you. We need you not, after the dialogue, they are not going to take it as an advantage.
Yes.
To pick you and put it behind bars. That is the issue. But what we know, during the major national dialogue, some of those actors, prominent actors, are the at the front line at that moment, at that time, they were invited. But
because now, when we are talking of inclusiveness of this dialogue, another dialogue should be organized. Let me ask
inclusiveness, what I want to say, the community leaders should also be part of this dialogue.
Okay.
They should forget about those people in Yaoundé to be inviting them. No.
That's why I wanted to know what procedure should be used. Because recently the head of state called for community dialogue, which means that maybe even quarter heads, traditional rulers and the rest, who are directly with the people, should be calling them around, talk with them. Is that another good point for
exactly? That is what I'm saying. Because, like you said, the head of state mentioned of community dialogue, which you understand that this thing needs to go right down to the community. So if there's another dialogue, those community leaders.
So they start from the community.
They start from there
and going up.
And be going up. Because that is where you get to really understand. When you organize a dialogue and you just you allow these people part of that dialogue, you can't really have the way forward. They are in a better position to actually tell you what is the way forward.
But we had a problem with the former dialogue that so many people call a monologue, and there are so many reasons they have given calling it a monologue. Now, which structure or persons do you think should be mediators during such dialogue? If this problem has to be solved?
I think the government cannot totally mediate this dialogue.
Okay.
Because they are the government, and we cannot say, okay, let's get a third party by bringing a foreign person. I think that one might downplay on the sovereignty of the state. Let's say, for example, we get a structure like UNAU to come. I know this very government will not be able to accept. But there are people in this country that they have proven beyond reasonable doubt that they are good in terms of, they have achieved a lot in terms of conflict, peace, crusading, our very own,
so are you talking
our very own, like
Tunfo,
Barrister
Nico Hale.
Nico Hales. These are people who have proven integrity.
Agbobala.
Agbobala, well, Agbobala was part of the issue from the beginning, so he might be coming there to defend an ideology that he once had. But we are saying that there are people who, like Barrister Tunfo Nico Hale, people who have integrity.
Okay.
The integrity cannot be downplayed.
But if
that they
people
can
have been,
mediate,
if people have been part of all what is happening, does it mean they did not have a very good idea? Maybe there were a few who were very courageous to say this is the right thing, this is the truth, and so they went ahead of it. They can still be used to tell the government the truth.
Of course, these people have.
And don't you think that even in the system we have people who are outspoken, who tell the government the truth, no matter what? We saw recently, even
which
at
one
Congress,
person that is outspoken?
because even at the Congress we saw that there are some people who came out to like debunk the bill that was
which
sent.
people?
We have
I mean a system.
Because I'm avoiding to call some names here.
No,
I have to.
Those I think that pass through
yes.
the media now. So
Yes.
it's not about avoiding the comment. Which person will also it, because we all those who were kicking against the anything, we can call the names. Honorable Joshua Osi, Honorable Ninche. Those are the way. But who in the system went against this thing? The only person that at the day of voting that was not even there is our very own Senator Mbelamoke Charles, that was not even part of that voting.
Good, you've just given an example.
Yes. Now,
so such people can be
we don't know
to mediate.
now. We don't know whether Senator Mbelamoke that was not part of the National Assembly. Maybe it was a boycott to show disapproval of the bill, or probably he was something held him emergency. So we cannot conclude what is absent there, on what grounds. Yeah, so he could be that. Maybe something held him that unavoidably that he could not be there. But doesn't mean, because even though a lot of people have attributed,
even if somebody is not there, if you are a member of the parliament, you can still send maybe approval that okay, somebody should vote for you. But if you don't send, it means that you don't stand for what they are trying to do.
Well, yes, that is true.
Now, we are still on the Anglophone crisis. We are talking of the release of these gentlemen who are in prison.
The Naira 10.
The Naira 10 and so many others. Good, and so many others. How do you look at that? Will it really go far off to solve this problem?
It will go a long way to solve this problem. It will go a long way. Yes.
But we have a situation where they themselves are divided.
The Naira 10, all
yes.
those.
I mean, let me say, as far as we have the crisis, we have those in the bushes, we have those who are in prison, we have those who are abroad. And so every sector, and even they are divided. Even abroad, we have those who are with a fraction of those who are in the bushes, and we have other fractions. How do you think the government is going to dialogue with all these people and see that, okay, these who are in prison are released, and these are the people the government has to dialogue with, because they are so divided?
No, it's very clear. Those that are good, the government want to do, have to dialogue with. Those are the people there in the prison. We have others who are in the diaspora. They should be invited to come.
With different opinions.
We have
they have different opinions.
We have those who are still in the bushes. They should tell them that, okay, if you're in the bushes, you want to come for the dialogue, drop your arms and come. Because you will not carry arms and going into the dialogue room. Nobody is there with an arm. So you also have to drop their arms. So those people have to be part of it. I think during the major national dialogue, we have some of the ex-fighter there at that moment that they appear there. Yeah. So they were invited. They dropped, and they were part of that process. And they were in some commission that were formed.
And some remained in the bushes who were not in that.
And some remain in the bushes.
Which shows that they are divided. So how can this be solved?
They have to be divided. There's no problem, because even in the system there is division.
Okay.
Yes, though it might not be popular, but there's division. So there is no problem about division. The problem is that when we have the dialogue, once the government goodwill has been shown, those who are still behind,
yes.
when the crisis started, there was no division.
Okay.
Yeah, right? There was no division. And in 2016, 2018, 2016, 17, 18, at the peak of the crisis, and now in 2026, you agree with me that it's not the same scenario.
Okay.
So in as much as the division, there is that constant community dialogue which the head of state proposed that has been playing a lot.
Okay.
There is that constant reminder of it is important for us to restrain, to drop the arms for those in the bushes, and come out. What is it? So the messages have been going.
Now they have been calling on them to drop their arms, calling on those abroad and so on. But we have a situation where I don't want to use a kind of adjective, but if you see people who see journalists and kill them or harm them during war, you see medical practitioners, you harm them during war. Are those people that you think they can really dialogue with?
Well, those are excesses in terms of a
because if
crisis
you see
like this.
in situations like those who know during conflict or war, they know that there are certain people that they are not supposed to touch, like medical practitioners, journalists, and the rest. But you see them being killed.
Yeah, you are right. Those people might have committed these arson attacks on this circulation, those personal names. But it doesn't cancel the fact that they have committed this thing. We are in a period of re-dialoguing and looking a way forward. They should still, yes, they should still be invited. The head of state have said it clear.
Okay, let's take the last bend to this program.
Those who have taken up arms, no matter the crimes they have committed, once you drop your arm, you are forgiven immediately. They will not say, okay, this was a particular person that killed this particular person, No, they will no longer go back to it.
Okay, the report we had talked of a path forward to, that is, we talk of visionary leaders that are committed to democracy and to take this country forward. What do you think about having these visionary leaders? Because in the decades past, we have had ministers who have been there for 2 decades plus and so on, and we see the country not changing. The vice president is coming up. Of course, he will have a say and maybe know those who are supposed to be brought up. Even if the president has to appoint him first, then they work on those on the cabinet reshuffle. So what do you think, what ideas do you have to give the vice president? Because the president of the republic at one time was talking of empowering the youths, the women, and the rest. So what do you have for?
You see, you talk about the visionary leaders, which is something I'm going to tell the vice president. Now,
when you come in as the president or any member of government that were appointed at that moment, you should work for the vision that has been presented to you. Some of these ministers or these members of government or those who are in the system, they don't work for the vision. They don't work the vision that the head of state has presented. When you work for the vision,
yes,
and you don't work for the president, that is what we want them to work.
Okay.
What is the vision? Look at the vision in the effort of education, health, social, and employment. When you look at this way, you work, but you will not be working because you want to please the president.
Okay.
So what I'm saying that they should focus on the vision that's presented to them, and not on pleasing the president.
Do you see him coming up because we know
those who please the president,
yes,
they never had any. No, there's no moment they have something that are innovative. They work on the principle of high instruction from the president.
Okay, let's look
High
at
instruction from
constitutional reforms as the last point here. We know power is so swift. There are times that somebody may come up like this before he realizes he has taken over. Now, if we talk of constitutional reforms, do you see some of these constitutions, especially this one, to be changed in future? Some of these constitutions that we have, do you see him proposing it to the parliament for change?
Yes, you know, when we're looking about reviewing the constitution, amending the constitution, I thought a good number of articles were going to be amended on the constitution, but that was not the case, because our whole constitution has issues.
Okay.
The entire constitution has issues.
Okay.
A good number, a majority, let me put it this way, has issues. But unfortunately, they just came and touched one aspect, which is that of the vice president. You know.
So to you, forward. It should be a situation maybe when he takes over, he should change things.
Yes. We're expecting a greater touch on the constitution.
Okay.
Why not limit the term
of
the president?
Yes.
Maybe to about 5 or 7 renewable ones.
And remove the
maybe
the limited
unlimited this thing. Any democracy that everything is just unlimited, that democracy has been raped.
Okay.
That constitution has been raped. There is no democracy. Let's talk about what Minister Taganji was saying on TV, that they want to give the president free hand. Free hand.
When he talks of free hand, maybe he knows what the president intends for this country, maybe before he retires.
No. A democracy does not operate where you give a leader free hands. In a democracy, there has to be checks and balance. Okay. A is checking B, B is checking A.
Okay.
So that nobody does not act ultra-violent, so that nobody does not have, power should not be will in a particular person. For too much power.
Okay.
So so the president has not been limited, which means that the president can decide to be extending the mandate to put his machinery in place, like what he's doing now. Because the president, the CPDN government knew that if they have called for municipal election within that time, when anxiety was here, they would have gone out. They know very well that if they didn't begin to postpone this municipal election, shifting in Nana, it has gone to December 2026. If they would have conducted election in February, they would have gone out.
So you are approving now that
this thing of giving the president free hands is a pure strategy.
Okay.
For them to go back to drawing board.
So you are approving now that
tighten up their grip.
Okay. You are approving now that maybe if he takes over in the name of transition, when he becomes the commander-in-chief, he should touch some of these.
Yes, if you look at the entire constitution and amend it.
Okay, and put good democracy in place.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe your last word, if you have any other.
Yes. My last word. The all is set or done at the level of the parliament, waiting for the president now to promulgate the bill into law. We want a transition government,
Okay.
That will look at the aspiration of Cameroonians,
Okay.
not that of a particular person to work for. Yes. Let it work for the vision that has been set aside to move Cameroon as a emerging nation in 2035. Yes, that is what I only want to tell the transitional government that will be put in place. And well, many people are giving proposal of who have to come in. But again, like I said, I see a woman,
Okay.
as a vice president.
Okay. Thank you so very much for accepting this invitation.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Moderator.
Dear viewers, this is where we come to the end of today's program, where we were discussing on the socio-political and economic Peninsula 2, bringing Cameroon to stability, given that everybody looks at the appointment of the vice president as a panacea, as a solution to Cameroon's problem. And so if he's coming in as a transitional leader, then surely he will have those powers to solve some of these problems. That's what we're looking. We want to thank all those who have made this program to come to fruition. I've been moderator Mwambo Williams. See you next time.
Hey, Royal TV viewers, your voice matters, and now we want to hear it louder than ever. We've created a special WhatsApp feedback group just for you. Got opinions about our shows? Suggestions to make Royal TV better? Compliments, complaints, or hot takes? This is your direct line to us. Joining is easy. Simply scan the QR code on your screen right now, and you're instantly connected to the Royal TV community. Be part of the conversation. Influence our programs. Help shape the future of your favorite TV station. Don't just watch. Interact, engage, be heard. Scan the code and join the Royal TV WhatsApp group now. When we dream alone, it is only a dream. But when many dream together, it is the beginning of a new reality. Hey, Royal TV viewers, your voice matters, and now we want to hear it louder than ever. We've created a special WhatsApp feedback group just for you. Got opinions about our shows? Suggestions to make Royal TV better? Compliments, complaints, or hot takes? This is your direct line to us. Joining is easy. Simply scan the QR code on your screen right now, and you're instantly connected to the Royal TV community. Be part of the conversation. Influence our programs. Help shape the future of your favorite TV station. Don't just watch. Interact, engage, be heard. Scan the code and join the Royal TV WhatsApp group now. When we dream alone, it is only a dream. But when many dream together, it is the beginning of a new reality.